So another game from this World Championship against the Polish player.
Yeah, Polish player called Grandmaster Schmidt. Well, later on he became Grandmaster. He was already one of the best players from Poland, and later on he was most probably the best Polish player until now, until Duda. Duda now is the best player ever for Poland. Mm-hmm. But in that period, he was number one in Poland. He played many Olympic games. We met many times later on. Mm-hmm. And here was one of our first
encounters,
games together, and it was also very interesting. You'll see.
So we played d4.
Knight f6, e4, g6, knight c3, bishop d7, e4, d6. And now I played h3. It was a small surprise because usually in this championship and later on I played very much Zemish. It was my favorite variation. But here we played some other variation. I wanted to surprise him, and I succeeded somehow. You'll see in the game. h3. And bishop g5. This is a very important position. White tries to have later on an ideal situation where he can develop the pieces, the bishop in d3, the knight in from g1 to e2, castle, and the pawn on f4, controlling all the squares, the central squares, with some clear edge. You see, it's black has to. To try to have some counterplay. It's not so easy, of course. Yeah. d5, e6, bishop d3. Okay. Takes in d5, takes in d5, knight d7, and now, of course, you have two possibilities. So you play knight f3, rook e8 check, bishop to e3, or king f1 with a small edge for white, or you play like in our game immediately f4, against the threat knight e5. Now, white has the control in the center, but for the moment, he didn't castle. This is the only good counterplay for black.
So you wanted to block the knight from e5?
From e5, yeah. Why? Well, if he comes with the knight to e5 and can take on d3, then black is all right.
So the bishop on d3
is good. Yeah,
is much better. Is good.
Yeah, it's good. Knight a5. Well, now he tries to have some immediate counterplay on the other side with queen a5. It seems he's all right for black, Queen d2, knight b6. The idea is to play very quickly knight a4 to attack in c3. But we'll see later on he has some problems because on the other side he has only two pieces, and therefore the white attack comes very quickly, Knight g2. Knight a4, okay, and now castle. Good. Now it's clear, white is better, and the black has to try to have some counterplay later on, Now, rook b8, rook d1, and bishop d7. Well, now f5, this is very important moment. Now white tries to come very quickly on the other side, and black has some problems because all his pieces are on the queen side, and of course the king from g8 will have some problems later on, in the next moves. He has to be very careful already. The position is very dangerous already for black. Yeah.
So here you sacrifice a pawn.
No. If he takes in f5. His structure is very bad later on, and probably he's almost lost if he takes in f5, of course.
Yeah,
it's not good to take in f5.
Now I see, it's actually the rook here as well, so no sacrifice actually.
Yes. a6. Well, he tries to have some counterplay with the move b5. Even if he has the possibility to play b5, he's he's a little bit late. But now is white. White moves, and he can have a very, very interesting combination, very, very simple already, which gives us a big edge for white, Takes in f6, takes, and knight e4. Now is very unpleasant for black. The position is almost lost. If he takes in d2, it's very bad because comes knight takes f6 check, king g7, rook takes g2, everything is protected. He must take back the knight from f6, and he loses at least 2 pawns, and the position is destroyed. F takes g6 check, and then g takes h7 check, and the position is completely lost for black. 2 pawns down, and the attack continues, yeah. So now the only move is to go back with the queen to d8, but the position is very bad already now. Takes in f6 with check, takes the queen, and now takes in g6. Everything is forced. He has to take in b2 is the only possibility. The queen has no other move, yeah? Has to take in b2. Takes in f7 with check, pawn up, and the position is, in ashes, let's say, for black, King h8, and now you move the queen. Of course, you don't trade queens. No. Queen h6 is very good. The only move, probably, queen g7. Now, white takes finally in d6. Gives the pawn from h3, but that is not important. Takes in h3, the only move, It seems that black has something, But after the next move, everything will be clear. Knight f4. Now, you protect the pawn from g2. You attack the bishop from g4, and he has to move like in our game. The only move, bishop g4.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise he loses the bishop. No?
Correct, yes. Yeah.
So now, you move the rook, and the attacks go on, Rook e8. Rook e7. Again, very, very strong move, because you have to decide what to do, with black. In queen d4, it seems is the only counterplay, but it's not enough, of course. The position is very difficult. King h2, knight b2, and now, this is decisive. Now you can't take in e7 because his queen takes f8 mate, and if you play, for instance, queen g7, it seems that is the only move now. Queen g7.
But why not taking the bishop with the knight?
If you take the bishop with the knight, comes knight g6 check and mate. Knight g6. You have to take back with the pawn, and now rook takes f8 mate. Rook takes f8. Rook takes f8. Queen takes in f8 mate.
Yes.
Well, it was very, very nice attack at the end, but in my opinion, he underestimated a little my attacking chances when he came to that position before, when he allowed the move bishop takes f6. After bishop takes f6, the attack was very strong, and the position was already very, very dangerous for black. But probably almost lost.
He resigned already here.
He resigned, of course. Yes. Yeah.
Because there's no defense.
No. The only defense is queen g6, as I told you before. Queen g7, pardon.
Queen g7.
And after queen g7, you still play knight g6 check and finish.
So this one is
if you take with the queen in g6, you lose the queen. And if you take with the pawn, bishop takes g6. And if not, you have to resign, because after f takes g6,
you have checkmate.
Again is mate. Queen takes g7 mate.
And now here you...
Bishop takes, Bishop takes, and the attack is terrible.
It's still going on, yes.
You can't take in d7 because you again mate in f8, Well, very simple, but very beautiful also.
Yes, beautiful.
The attack is very beautiful, And without the small computer from today, it was more important because the players could show something, the humans played themselves.
Yes, yes. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.